1. I was drifting off to sleep when this memory surfaced, so naturally I had to share. When I was in year 2 of being a server, I worked at a bar and grill, but mostly bar, that was decently nice and was in no way advertised as a sports bar. The bar had a great location, though we were always busy for sporting events, and usually made good money. UFC fights were always a crazy ordeal, and I grew to loathe them very quickly. They were the one sporting event where no one seemed to make money. Customers always became aggressive, and sometimes it felt like one wrong word or move and the whole place would turn into a brawl. One particular night, I had a table that started with 2 people that grew to 10. At first, everything seemed to be going great. The original couple was super nice and very friendly, actively engaging me in conversation and cracking jokes. The joiners trickled in, and 9 people, 4 couples, 1 lone man, sat at the table for a majority of the fights. Shortly before the main fight started, a woman joined the table. The vibe immediately changed. No one made small talk with me. They didn't even joke amongst themselves anymore. They got quiet. The final woman ordered a water and a side of fries while she looked over the beer menu. I check on my other tables, grab the water. 2 of the remaining couples asked for their checks when I came back. I asked the woman for her order. She asks to sample some of the beers and a water refill. Input the order, check on the tables I pass, grab the water refill. I drop the checks for the couples, the water refill, and beer samples for the woman. I ask what she thinks of the samples, and her only response was, "They're nasty," before she turns to talk to the person I presume to be her partner. I take the hint, and retreat to check on the other tables, process the notes, grab the fries, and then I go back. Before the fries even hit the table, the woman is shaking her glass in my face and demands a refill. I kill her, with kindness. Ask the table if they need anything else, they didn't, and go about my way. I notice the first 2 couples sign and leave very quickly. As I'm doing my rounds, I hear the table switch to speaking in Spanish. I only know kitchen Spanish, so not a lot. But from the way they kept looking at me, I assumed it was about me. I go over and grab the checkbooks and make sure everyone at the table is good. A 3rd couple asks for their check. The woman demands another refill, this time in Spanish. When I got to the point of sale and looked at the receipts the closed-out couples had left, one of them had written, "I'm sorry," and tipped 100%. My heart dropped out of my vajayjay. Every time I went to the table after that, the woman spoke to me only in Spanish. She just wanted water refills, so it really wasn't a hardship. But why switch languages? Within 20 minutes, all 4 of the original couples had closed out and left, when the woman started screaming, "Mas agua gringa!" At the top of her lungs. The presumed boyfriend went to the bar and closed his check before leaving her there. He didn't pay for her fries, and she didn't have money to cover it, so after trying to run her tab, she called him hysterically crying, asking for money, which he didn't give her. I think we ended up comping her fries just to get her the hell out of there. This singular woman cleared a 9-top in under 30 minutes with just her presence. 2. For some background, I'm a 20-year-old student and I've been searching for a job for over a year now. When I saw this role, I took it without hesitation, as I've been a hostess multiple times in the past, and never had any complaints. I've never once been mistreated, but have experienced some hardcore hazing. My other hostess jobs have been for family-owned businesses, corporations, and local businesses. This establishment is fine dining. This job is killing me, and it's only been 3 weeks. I seriously can't win. No matter what I do, I always get yelled at, or dare I say bullied, by the head chef. The owners of the restaurant are very understanding. They get that I'm new, and they're patient with me during training. However, the head chef loves to tell me how I'm doing everything wrong, and how the owner's way of doing things isn't what I should be doing. That wouldn't be an issue if the owners themselves hadn't told me to do things specifically as they said. You'd think he'd tell me all this in a nice and respectful way, but there have been times when I've had items aggressively yanked out of my hands, threatened my paychecks, told me I was fired or threatened to fire me, and glares at me whenever I walk past him. It's not an unnoticeable glare either. He literally looks like he wants me dead. I tell him constantly that owners told me to do specific things and that's how I was trained to work here, but he refuses to listen. proceeding to tell me how I never know what I'm doing, and that me being in the restaurant in general offends him. I've even caught him making fun of my voice and even mocking my face when he knew I was within earshot. He also likes to beg me to ask questions, and when I do, he looks at me like I'm stupid or outright says no. Even yesterday, he threw a wine bottle because I asked him to repeat a question. We have live music going on, so it's a little hard to hear. He also likes to tell the staff I have a hearing problem. He never does this to the servers. The servers started working after me, by the way, so no hazing for them. I've overheard him talk nice and sweet to the servers in a way I didn't even know he could speak. He then would turn around and proceed to tell me how I did nothing and that he could fire me when he wants. I am a hostess, not a server. I can't satisfy him, and I certainly don't know what to do. I need the job, but I can't keep sobbing on the bus after work every day because I'm doing my best. My dad is a head chef, and he himself says what I'm experiencing is workplace abuse. But I feel like I'm being childish. I ended up emailing the owners, and tonight, during my shift, they're going to talk to me about changes that need to be made. I have 9 talking points, and hopefully they hear me or I quit. Thank you for all the support. I'm glad I'm not crazy. Update 2. I got fired for slightly raising my voice when I got blamed for something I didn't do. 3. What would you have done in this situation? This will be short and simple. A group of 10 PGA guys walk in, order their first round. One gentleman orders a fried dish that is labeled vegetarian option from the menu, but does not inform me that he is vegetarian, nor do I ask. Mainly being because I also order this dish along with other employees who are not vegetarian. However, all our fried food is from shared fryers and our grease being beef tallow. We do not have seafood anything. Gentleman receives his food, has about half of it ate. The leader of the group orders for the entire group with a statement that sent up red flags. "Can we order this dish for the vegetarian at the end?" Points to the gentleman who ordered the original vegetarian dish. "Oh my god." "What?" "We cook our food in beef and he's veg?" "Well, don't tell him." "Sir, I have to. I can't intentionally mess up his lifestyle. It's my responsibility as a server to inform every single person of anything in regards to anything like that. Are you serious?" "Yes, I'm serious. It's not a big deal." I run to the vegetarian. Sir, I am so extremely sorry. It was just brought to my attention that you're vegetarian, and we cook our food in beef lard. And I've informed others, and to some it is an issue, and some it's not an issue, so I would like to inform you that what you're eating is not 100% kosher vegetarian, and I completely understand if it is an issue, and will do what's in my power to rectify this for you." You serious? Why is it listed vegetarian? Why did you not tell me this when I ordered a vegetarian dish? I can't just take it out of my body now. Needless to say, he was, very, very, very mad. If he could steam from his bald head, he would have. And, understandably, he had every right to be. My issue is a few things. He got mad at me for telling him about the oil, but I can't just assume that everyone who orders this dish is vegetarian. 2, this group was supposed to be his friends, but his friends tried to hide the fact that he ate something that was a very big deal to him on his lifestyle, and they literally told me to my face it was never that serious to inform him to begin with. Meanwhile, I hope he didn't go to the hotel down the road thinking I tried to kill him. Also, my managers literally said you did nothing wrong. However, I feel so bad, because to me, it's like forgetting there's alcohol on the table, and it's handy to a recovering alcoholic when you aren't aware of the alcoholism to begin with. Edit. I'm working tonight and checked the menu. There is no mention of vegetarian on the menu. There is no icon. There is no key at the bottom or the description of the dish itself. Four. Like most restaurants, we have some really good back-of-house staff and some really bad back-of-house staff. Unfortunately, at my restaurant, the bad back-of-house staff is there most of the time. You know the type. The ones who will give attitude if you need something past close. The ones that will retaliate if you need a remake by delaying your tickets, etc., etc. The head chef came out from the kitchen and chewed out a server because he put side cheese on a side salad, intending to mean put the queso fresco on the side. Instead, they gave him a side salad with queso fresco on top with a side of cheddar cheese, so they had to remake. Understandable how that's confusing, but you don't have to yell at a server over it. That's ridiculous. If there's confusion, that's why you have someone running Expo. Tell the manager to grab the server to clarify, or just put both on the side, so when the server picks up the food they can clarify. Easy fix. The server was in the weeds, so instead of writing the whole mod out on your spotty POS, he put side cheese. Now I'm overly specific on my mods. So anyway, Christmas week has been busy as hell with to-go orders, massive ones to feed whole families. The poor to-go workers have been in the thick of it. We've been watching them get berated by customers because their orders are 2 to 3 hours late. Something about our kitchen, mostly everything is usually late. Whether you're eating in or to go, there's always a bloody excuse from the kitchen. We're a scratch kitchen, which means that the food is great and we typically aim for 16-minute ticket times. That rarely happens. 2 breakfast entrees take 35 minutes. Well, we're flooded with to-go orders we're trying to get out. The to-goes are always at least an hour late past promised time. Lunch takes 40 minutes. Well, we're in shift change in the lunch lull. Okay, we're in a lunch lull. There's 5 tables out there. It shouldn't be hard to put that food out in a timely manner. Dinner takes 45 minutes per ticket. Well, the restaurant is busy. We're in the weeds. I've only been in this restaurant for 2 months, and it seems standard that the kitchen has a total meltdown at least twice a week. And ticket times regularly take way longer than anticipated. The holidays are especially stressful, as lots of people want to get a quick dinner and go. And they're tired and cranky from being with family and shopping all day, leading to lots of stiffs, especially at breakfast time. The kitchen just cannot handle the tickets. When we have the A team, as we call them, they do have understandable delays sometimes, 22 minutes instead of 16, but it's pretty rare and they rock out especially in busy times. Only problem is they're rarely there, as this team is mostly made up of people who have other jobs. So anyway, all the to-go people quit, completely understandably. We're screwed with a Phillips screwdriver. We've had to move one of our hosts over to to-go, and bless her heart, the first shift she was so stressed out. She's pretty tough and doesn't take crap from customers. If a party throws a fit and requests to move in a rush, she'll happily send them to the back of the wait list, since other parties would happily take that table. However, that night she was stressed out of her mind. She also made no money, as guests obviously wouldn't tip on an order that's 2 hours late. She particularly complained that the kitchen wouldn't listen to her, and it took 30 minutes to get a pint of rice. Rice! The rice is cooked from scratch twice a day, but it's one of the items on a speed rack, meaning they make huge batches to serve up with the entrees. She had to get the GM to go back there and force him to give her the rice so she could complete the order. Our hosts are also stretched thin, leading to rotation mistakes, accidental seating in dead sections, etc. I just don't know what to do here. It's pretty clear that most of our back-of-house staff is just really burnt out and does not care anymore, which makes everyone else's jobs 10 times harder. Servers can't flip tables, hosts get screwed over with wait time since we can't flip tables, and the bar is in the weeds from guests wanting drinks while they wait, on top of taking care of servers' drinks and their bar-top tables. It sucks, because everyone I work with are truly great. The servers, hosts, bartenders, even our managers are rock stars. Managers support us, bar staff is talented and quick, hosts have an iron grip on customer flow, servers help each other when we're busy. I guess there's got to be at least one rotten egg in the basket of Easter eggs. Am I being unreasonable here? Just a rant. Tell me your Christmas horror stories to make me feel better. 5. So I just started at this family-owned restaurant, and I have never had any server experience, so I am a little intimidated. Looking from the outside in, there are so many moving parts and memorization, and I already have ADHD, but it's a skill I really want to be good at. During training, my co-workers and managers have been nothing but patient with me. and they have moments where they get a little irritated with me for asking too many questions, but I think they understand that I really want to get it right. My boss, the owner, has been looking for reasons to fire me, I feel like. She is constantly talking to me and others at work in an impatient and condescending tone, asking me questions during the training about the menu, etc. But God forbid there is something I don't know 3 days in, or she acts like my lost cause. I've been on the floor by myself for about 2 weeks now, and it's stressful, but I can manage it well by just focusing on one thing at a time. I've actually been doing a lot better than I thought, and I even ask my coworkers and managers if there's anything I could have done better, and they say I'm doing great. The problem is that the owner is in so often now, probably because the restaurant is losing money, and makes the experience so stressful for me because I feel like I'm under a microscope, and I get flustered more easily. Yesterday I had 4 tables at once, 2 six-tops. Not a lot in the grand scheme of things, I know, and I got a little flustered, and accidentally forgot to send in one of my table's soup orders. They ordered 4 soups and only got 3, and my manager looked at me with disgust, and is like, "You suck at this." So my newfound confidence takes a hit. I'm fighting tears at this point, making sure all my tables are good. And they are. The six-top gets her missing soup, but throughout the rest of the night she acted like I would lose my head if it wasn't attached to my body, to the point where the other managers were being overly nice to me, kind of to overcompensate for her. And even the bartender saw there were no tables for hours and offered to take my trash out for me, so I could go home. I understand that it's important to have thick skin in this business, and I'm sensitive as hell. But it really is just food and drinks. She is the owner, but it's also frustrating when bosses think that tough love, if that's even what it is, helps everyone. I just started getting over the whole pre-shift anxiety thing, and now even on my days off I get a notification that I have work in 24 hours, and I get a sense of dread. I'll likely follow through and keep working because the money is good, and most of my other co-workers are great, and I thank them for being patient with me. But it's so frustrating when you've done nothing to warrant that kind of treatment for someone. And because she owns the restaurant, what do I even say to her? Because it's actually hindering my productivity and performance at work. Hey everybody, Hellfreezer here, and thank you very much for listening to Spinning Plates, episode 265. And thank you very much to everybody who allowed me to use their stories in this video. Before you go, please do hit the like button and share the video with friends and family. And if you'd be so good as to support me on my Patreon page, as little as $1 a month helps, the link to that is in the description for you. We also have channel memberships. Okay, I don't think we have any more business today. I don't think there's any shoutouts. First week into the new year, I hope your 2025 has been going well for you. I have no idea how mine will be going, but hopefully it's going well too. I did get an interesting little surprise on Christmas Day. It was Christmas Day, and I was working on Christmas Day because I had a lot to do. And I got a message on Fiverr, where I have an account. I do freelance voice work over there on Fiverr. And I got a message from someone wanting to place an order. And I thought, it's a Christmas miracle. So anyway, a bit of a negotiation with them. Some miscommunication about the word count and pricing at first, but we got that worked out and we settled on a price. And it was a decent amount of money. It's certainly probably the biggest gig I've had on Fiverr so far. So I've been chugging away this week doing that. I split it up into parts because it was quite a lot of work. It's an e-learning thing. It's an e-learning thing about Python, which I'm slightly familiar with. I wouldn't say I understand Python, but I can follow a guide as to how to install something using it, as I've done that many times. So it's actually sort of interesting following along with me because I'm getting a bit of an education at the same time. A lot of Googling to check pronunciations to make sure I don't mess them up. But that's going quite well. I'm nearly done with that. And I should I'll definitely have that to them on time, but hopefully have it to them a little bit earlier, because it is nice to deliver early when you can. I usually do when I'm doing things like that. So fingers crossed that they like the work I've done, because it sounds like this could be a semi-long-term thing, which would be very, very helpful for me. It would be, I think they said they have about 10 of these things to do. So hopefully they're happy with the results on this one, and it could mean more coming my way. Anyway, that's how my year's been going as it draws towards the close. So that was a nice little thing to happen. Beyond that, I've just been relaxing, and I've been looking at walking treadmills, of all things. Like walking pads, they call them, but it's a treadmill without the support, really, in most cases. And they seem more reasonably priced, and as I'm a little heftier, that's why I'm trying to lose weight, I've decided, I'm not making a New Year's resolution, it's just something I know I need to do, so I've decided it's going to happen. They seem to have better weight capacity. I don't know why, but they claim the weight capacity is good on these things, although I'm sure some of them are not exactly accurate. So I'm considering getting one of those, as that is within my budget currently. A decent treadmill within my budget. Well, a decent treadmill is not within my budget, unfortunately, as I have learned I'd probably need about £700 for a semi-decent used one, or even a semi-decent new one. Well, one day, it will be mine one day, but I'll get one of these walking pads before then, and it should hopefully meet my needs. I mean, it's essentially just, I tend to cycle most places, and the bike's fine again, that's working again. It's just I live in Scotland, and we're at the time of year where we get lots of rain, lots of snow, so getting out may not be ideal. And I would like to have a way to get my steps in, as it were. Got my Fitbit, just need to actually do the steps. Anyway, I'm going to shut up for now and head off, so until next time, thank you very much for listening, and take very good care of yourselves.